There's having a plan and executing the plan. And if you have a plan without executing, then you have ideas, you know. You don't really have success. And like success comes from executing that plan. So you have to persevere. And I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that tell you no. A lot of people told me, Jory, you're crazy for taking this job. You're crazy for this. You're crazy for that. I don't know if you're going to make it here.
Let's say you go into an established community. How do you make a name for yourself? Jory Kighton did that of Green Top Roofing. Now, the Green Top is he's an employee in a business, just to say. He's not a entrepreneur, but he followed the exact same steps as an entrepreneur to build what he's built today here in at Green Top Roofing. So, a very interesting story. I am Toby Lyles and my son,
Maverick Lyles.
Esteemed son, Maverick Lyles. And this is the Voices on the Wind podcast.
Yes, and if you guys have not checked out the newsletter, then please do. That's votw.substack.com. A lot of cool stuff on there, so definitely do that. And this is our interview with Jory Kighton with Green Top Roofing.
A lot of people that get into entrepreneurship or just career changes, our first job isn't what we end up in long term for whatever reason, right? Yeah, so it could be when it goes sour. It could just be like, yeah, that's not for me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's important to talk about. So you were in government, and then you got a call from a friend to talk to a roofing company, which is a totally different thing. But you were willing.
No doubt. No, I'm always willing to listen, and you know, you don't want to let a good opportunity pass you by. And I mean, it changed my life forever. I mean, met my now fiance here too. Yeah. So I mean, life comes at you fast, and when you meet the right people, and it was a pretty quick comfort level with all of them in Loveland, and it just felt right. And you know, I took a leap of faith, but the culture that they had built, and I went to a team lunch, got interviewed after that and before that a little bit, and it opened my eyes to, wow, like this is like, they care about each other, they support each other. It's not just about roofing, you know, it's far more than that. And like family was big to them, and making sure that you spend time with your family and don't overwork yourself. Like they'll get mad, you know, if I stay here too long at the office. They'll be like, no, you need to go hang out with Kylie, you know, make time for your personal life. And that's a big deal to me, because work-life balance is a big thing. Yeah. And so, I jumped in, and I was like, I don't really know anything about roofing. I was like, I'm a pretty quick learner. They were fortunate. I was fortunate enough that they kind of preferred it that way. No bad habits, if you will. And they let me kind of just be a sponge with them for a month down in Loveland, and then sent me up here. And my family's from Western Nebraska, so Cheyenne feels a lot like home. So it honestly was a seamless transition for me. So
not too hard.
Oh, I love Cheyenne. I started February 1st with Green Top, and showed up, got my hotel room or whatever temporarily till Brian, our owner, has some Airbnbs that he put me up in until I could get a place here and move here. Basically, I did a lot of research of what I had done before with economic development and stuff. I had an Excel spreadsheet of all the realtors, insurance agents, property managers, the mayor, city council. I had all of that just because I had a month to think about how I would launch the branch and everything, and you know what my plans were for a grand opening, for meeting people. The Chamber of Commerce was number one on our list, because you have to be able to give back to the community in order to be successful in any place, but let alone small towns. I mean, this is a tight-knit community, and I knew that coming in. And so I had kind of a general outline of who I was going to target and talk to before I got here. And I showed up, and Luke, our general manager, was pretty shocked, I think. He's like looking through the papers, and he was like, this has never happened before. So,
Because you just had you
I
so,
just was
so
very
thorough.
prepared, very prepared, and like ready to. I was ready to roll, and you took a chance on me, took an opportunity on me that, you put a lot of money in this, and I don't take that for granted. And I wanted to prove that I'm worth what you're paying me, and how far I came to be here, and I want to deliver for those people. And so I had a month to think about it, granted, but I was like, no, I'm going to make this happen. This is my chance. You always get like one chance in your life, I feel like, that you really get the opportunity to make something different. And I felt like this was it for me.
Okay.
In terms of that, not saying that something couldn't come in the future, but like an opportunity to do it your way with their blueprint of success that they've done for many years. They've been around for 20 plus years in Northern Colorado, and they do a lot of big projects. And
how many hours a day are you doing this?
oh man, the first 6 to 8 months of being in Cheyenne, I was working probably 60 to 70-hour weeks.
Yeah.
Because I'd get here roughly between 8 and 8:30 in the morning to the office, kind of just get myself ready mentally, jot down where I was going that day. And I usually had a weekly plan, day by day, kind of jotted down in a notebook.
How detailed is that plan? Is that like, I want to call these 20 people, or is it like, I want to get through, do the list and like?
Pretty detailed.
Okay.
I'd have a list of stops, and I had some alternates in case somebody wasn't there that I could utilize my time somewhere else, and nice. A lot of it, and then coffee meetings, lunch meetings with realtors. I'd try to meet all the realtors I could.
Yeah, wow.
And just sit down over coffee. And we don't mind buying people coffee. I mean, you can ask most of our clients. I buy them coffee a lot, sometimes too much, Luke says. But, it matters, getting that little jolt in the morning. And, hey, Green Top got us some. So,
Okay. So you're buying people coffee.
Yeah. No, we do that for sure on occasion. And not expecting anything in result. Just we take care of the people that take care of us. I mean, those insurance agents, those realtors, those property managers help feed our family, and we appreciate that, and want to take care of them as best we can.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm hearing some themes. A lot of hustle. You're calling. It sounds like you basically just hit the ground running.
Yeah.
And you're probably 8 to 8 or something like that.
A lot.
Yeah. Sometimes 8 to 10, depending on the event.
Yep. Thankful Thursdays. Yeah. I mean, all of it. I discovered Thankful Thursday through a friend of mine, and I was like, man, this is great. So I went to every Thankful Thursday, and it was kind of just a sensory overload, everyone to know that we're here. That's kind of the first wave, I guess. Got to make sure people know you're there. So every event you can attend, man, you see Jory a lot.
Yes.
But it doesn't go away. Like I don't do as much as I did before, just because I have salesman now and some other responsibilities and stuff. But I still attend like the luncheon today, attended that luncheon, as many chamber events as I can. I did the membership drive with Dale and Amber at the chamber. And
nice.
So still can always show up. So, yeah.
Yeah, you've done quite a bit. We've probably seen you at, I don't know how many events.
Yeah, and hosted the Java with the Chamber a couple times that I think you both were at. So, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so your goal is you're just doing tons of events. You're talking to, you're not knocking on house doors, but you're knocking on business doors or opening them without knocking.
Yeah.
They're open doors.
Definitely don't try to overstay my welcome. It's usually a 2 to 5 minute conversation, if that, maybe. Because like everybody has jobs to do.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the annoying roofer guy that tries to beg for business or seem like that, So just, hey, you're still in my thoughts, I'm still here, I want to check in on you. How was Christmas? How was, your New Year?
Would you put notes down? Like if you go in and you see somebody and you're like, oh, you're going to have a kid pretty soon. You like write down, going to have a kid.
Yeah. And yeah, I definitely would. How's your son's football team doing or whatever? Try to remember tidbits about everybody. it's a little difficult, but most of them I could
Sure.
remember off the start because it was so fresh and new.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. That is we need to pause the strategy to just talk about how difficult that can be.
Oh,
If
yeah.
anybody's ever called or done any of that,
Mhm.
it can be really tough.
Yeah.
Knocking doors, calling a phone. Sounds like you're mostly in person.
Yeah. Mhm.
But man, you get a lot of no's. I'm guessing you got some no's.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what the hell are you doing in here?
Yeah, not everybody.
quite that.
Everybody was very nice. I mean,
Okay.
I didn't. Some people take my stuff and probably throw them in the trash, but I'm gonna keep showing up. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna show up and show up and show up, and eventually they'll know, our company goals and our culture and being community driven, sponsoring things in the community. It may have annoyed them at first, but I hope I can win people over just by how much we help. And like I said, my famous phrase is, if you show up for Cheyenne, it shows up for you.
Nice.
And that truly happened for us. And I'm very thankful.
So did you get any hard no's? Or was
yeah,
it?
there was some, I use so-and-so roofing, I use these roofing, and that's great. Like,
Yeah.
I believe me, they've been around a long time, or whatever the case may be, but they're going to get busy one of these days. And if if something's urgent, just give us a shot. We're just looking for at-bats, and to show, kind of flex our muscles in what we can do. And that customer service aspect, and being able to get an opportunity when somebody was busy opened a lot of doors. They're like, hey, I normally use them, but can you check this out for me? And that's how a lot of them started. And then we did a great job, like I'm sure the other people would have. But, then it opened the door for them, like, man, maybe we should give Jory more, or so on and so forth. And as you kept showing up, more opportunities kept showing up. And staying consistent is the biggest thing. People like to show up, then expect things, and then 6 months later, you hadn't heard from them, And I try to stop in as much as I can, and not in an annoying way. I mean, I'm sure a couple people have thought it's annoying along the way, but there's no doubt. But like, I want to prove that we're such a good quality roofing company that you want to use us, or have us at least in your top 3, 4, or 5 recommendations to the customers. So, yeah, and referrals. So
Yeah, that's good. Keep showing up. Okay, so I'm imagining you by yourself in a new town.
yeah,
And which change. Talk to any psychologists; they'll tell you number of transitions that can lead to mental unhealth. 1 is moving, 2 is
Yep.
taking a new job, and they won't mention it on their report, but doing sales is really tough.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. How did you keep going? I mean, you got bosses you want to please, I'm sure, but
Oh, yeah.
and I can tell you have a strong internal fortitude. It's pretty evident. There had to have been some hard days. And
There were,
what were those like, and how did you get through that?
I definitely
Did you take breaks?
I would take breaks here and there.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I really wanted to deliver for getting the opportunity with no experience and getting training. So, and when you meet Adam, Brian, Corey, and Luke, the management team above me, I mean, you can tell. I mean, you can kind of tell why I want to work so hard, because they appreciate me. They'd check in on me. Corey would call me. Luke would call me. Adam would call me right away, and at least to speak to him a couple times a week.
Okay.
And then after about 3-4 months in, it was a little bit of a blip on the radar, because you're getting slightly discouraged, and then you're wondering, man, is this really, am I doing the right things? Is there something I'm missing? So I would pick Adam's brain a lot, or Corey or Luke or whoever it is that day that listened to my complaining. Not necessarily complaining, but frustration is a better word.
I'm just looking for that story, the highs and lows, and what it takes to build something new.
The Kumia story was pretty rewarding for me. So they're a nonprofit, obviously, and their roof was in kind of rough shape, just needed some repairs. And then the main roof on their Journey Center, which houses their families, newborns, stuff like that experience some homelessness. They had to have a new roof, and obviously money's tight with any nonprofit. And we tried our best to, make it as cost effective as possible. And we were set to do the re-roof and on those things and the repairs. Then that storm hit. So it was roughly a $15,000 contract for them, for what they could approve with their board and everything. And then when it came down to it, the storm hit. We were scheduled probably within 2 weeks or so to do that stuff. So I went and inspected the whole property again. The siding was destroyed.
Oh,
and
man.
so I'd already been helping them though, but I noticed that and I was like, okay, that's a good sign that there's big enough hail. So then I climbed onto the roof and everything was totaled.
Wow.
And so the least amount out of pocket for a nonprofit is obviously the goal, and to have insurance pay for it. And I can I'm pleased to announce that they'll get a whole new roof on all of them.
Wonderful.
Felt really good to be able to help them.
I really enjoyed how he pushed so hard. Like, when you're making something new, and then obviously he wasn't not necessarily doing it for his own business, which is honestly more impressive, because to have the drive to be able to get something done, especially in a new market, and though he had the right steps, but you can definitely hear there was there's doubt, right? There's always going to be doubt. If you're a human being, there's going to be doubt. Like, I don't know, am I doing enough? And he still pushed through it, and he still found the right people and listened to those people and just had faith. And honestly, having faith that you can do it is challenging. It's very difficult, and it can be very difficult to do that. And so I just really appreciated how he pushed through. Despite the very likelihood that he wouldn't be able to make it. Like, then there was a lot of people, but he's really created something real in our, then he said, people are copying him now. Like, he's just that good, and in less than 2 years. And so I think that's really cool, and I think that's a really good lesson for all entrepreneurs. It's just find people who can help you find the right formula, right? Like, find something that's going to work, and just have faith on yourself, and then bet on yourself that you're going to win.
Yeah. I agree with all those. That was probably my biggest takeaway, but you already stole it. So just the hard work, just the massive hustle he showed. That's why I originally wanted to talk to him. But his, I keep thinking about how he would say, I had one chance. I feel like I had one chance to do this. Not to make an Eminem throwback here, but, like, what if we walked into places and just said, hey, I've got one chance today. One chance to do this. I don't have tomorrow, I have today. What does that look like? So I've just been thinking about that. What does it change in me when I just say, I've got one chance to do this right? No more. Anyway. Hey, my friends, thank you all for joining us on this podcast. Hopefully it was the one podcast that was good for you. And I appreciate you all. So go out and build good things. Until then, my friends, happy sailing.